We've got 4 of these Aire and Calder barges together to make this film because of an increase in licence fee. The increase is 25%. We pay more than anybody else, and for less than 5% of the non-tidal navigation of England and Wales. There are now less than 10 Aire and Calder barges left on the Aire and Calder. The Aire and Calder runs between Wakefield and Leeds and the Port of Goole. The Aire and Calder is England's most important non-tidal commercial waterway. These barges created the wealth of this country. They carried between 200 and 500 tons of cargo each. They effectively ran into the 1990s. They were built bigger, better and stronger than any of the barges anywhere in the world. We feel that keeping these barges on the Aire and Calder is of significant historical importance. All of our barges have been restored by their owners, some taking up to 10 years to restore. Some were found without engines. Most have required significant remedial work, renovation, restoration. The skills also are becoming lost to operate and work these barges. The Canal and River Trust have been entrusted with our waterways. The Canal and River Trust have gone against their own governance when looking after these waterways. Their governance objective 2.2, to protect and conserve for public benefit sites, objects and buildings of archaeological, architectural, engineering or historical interest on and in the vicinity or associated with inland waterways. Having had many meetings with the Canal and River Trust over the years, we have gained nothing from them for the upkeep and maintenance of the important structures and the barges of the Aire and Calder, and we do feel that they have a duty of care to these old commercial barges that once made the waterways so great.
So I've been fixing old barges for about 25 years, but specifically the Yorkshire ex-commercial barges. This particular barge used to carry 200 tons of coal to Ferrybridge B power station, and go back. Sometimes it would do 2 or 3 trips a day, depending on which colliery it was being filled from. And this particular barge worked the longest. It had quite a hard life, and that's why its bottom wall's so thin. But it's been restored, and it's good for another 50 years without any major maintenance. As for where we are, we're in Nottingley, at the junction of the Selby Canal and the Aire and Calder. It's been a site of shipbuilding boat building for 300 years. It was named Harker's Shipyard in early 1900s, and they closed up business in the 1970s when Morris took over and ran the boat business for private boats and commercial boats rather than doing new builds. He did do a few new builds, but they were more pleasure craft than ships and commercial traffic. The 1820 Aire and Calder Canal Act was put in place before the shipyard was even built, before the canal went from Nottingley to Goole, and everything had to be put in place on that 1820 Canal Act to say what landowners could do what with the land that was getting crossed by the new canal. And part of that relates to us says that we could build a shipyard on this site because the land that was being crossed by the new canal was previously our land, and as long as we don't obstruct the navigation, we can moor boats here indefinitely, which is what we've been doing all the time. Morris has been here all the time, Harker's Shipyard was here, and Werfolk shipyard before that. So it's always been a centre of boat building industry. Over the last 5 years, I've probably restored over 30 barges, all ex-commercial barges, and this is one of the only sites available to do that. This is, as far as I know, this is the only Victorian slipway of a marine railway design that is still in operation. You hear about shipyard businesses all closing down in Scotland, on the Clyde, Belfast. All the shipbuilding businesses have pretty much gone, and we are still surviving, not as a shipbuilders but as a ship restorers and rebuilders, and that's what we specialise in here at Harker Shipyard. Most days it's like I'm having a shower of hot sparks all over me, and it's not the most pleasant job, but I'm still passionate about restoring and preserving these barges. And the crew that have worked with me are also barge owners and enthusiasts, and they all want to help each other to keep the Yorkshire ex-commercial barges in Yorkshire afloat in good condition, looking good, and good for a new 100 years of life. We're always interested to find passionate people to help with the preservation of barges, whether it be from, maybe you work at a railway museum, or maybe you're into steam engines or classic tractors. Whoever you are, and whatever your interest, you might know something that we don't. Like, we could be missing a trick when we're dealing with the authorities, and we just seem to get harassed, and it seems to be they don't want the old barges on the waterway anymore. So I'm okay. I'm good at fixing boats, but maybe I'm not so good at the public relations side of things, and we could do with some help to maintain the fleet of what's left of these commercial barges.
So these boats take a lot of looking after. You know, the remedial work for these boats. You know, it's thousands and thousands of hours of remedial work. These boats give pleasure to so many people as we come through the locks. Sometimes 40, 50 people can be photographing them as they come through. These boats are part of Yorkshire's history, part of the heritage of this area. It used to carry 200 tonnes of coal from Kellingley to Ferrybridge Sea Power Station. Now they bring biomass in from Canada. 7 tonnes of biomass equivalent to 1 tonne of Kellingley coal. It's ridiculous. The infrastructure that was in place back in the 1960s is all becoming lost. This infrastructure, this waterway, is so important to England. You know, this boat used to run 1 gallon of diesel an hour, pushing 200 tonnes of coal 4 or 5 miles from Kellingley Colliery to Ferrybridge Power Station. And now what do? They're just bringing it in by ship, by train from Canada. It's ridiculous. We feel that the preservation of these boats is an integral part of Yorkshire's history. We're trying our best. We don't get any help from the Canal and River Trust. All they do is tell us that they're going to increase licence fees. They tell us that we can't take moorings here, we've got to keep moving. We do keep moving. We've been moving these boats every 2 weeks for the last 10 years. People do get to see them when we keep them moving, and we feel that it's really important to keep them moving.